The Boss Blues Driver is a blues breaker style overdrive slash distortion that tries to emulate, in Boss's own words, the kind of warmth and overdrive and emotive distortion usually reserved for 30-year-old tube amps. It is built in the classic metal enclosure of Boss and is Boss buffered bypass. It is optionally 9-volt battery powered or 9-volt DC powered. This pedal retails for $120 on Sweetwater and Amazon at the time of this recording. Hello, so today we're here to talk about the Boss Blues Driver. Now, the thing about overdrives is that there are a few different overall styles of overdrive. So, this isn't going to be the end-all be-all of every sound that can happen out of this overdrive, because different overdrives are made for different purposes and they react differently to your gear. So if you have a different guitar with different pickups, a different amp and then the EQ on the amp, all of that is going to make a big difference in how it sounds. So the best way to know for sure if this is going to be right for you is to just try it for yourself, either, at a guitar store or Sweetwater, and you buy it and then return it if you don't like it. Sorry, I have some allergies going on, so I might be a little sniffly. Anyway, so let's get right into it with that disclaimer out of the way. We're going to start with a single coil Stratocaster style guitar. We're going to start with tone in the middle and gain all the way down to see how it works. It basically has a clean boost. So that's what it basically sounds like as a clean boost, because with the tone in the middle, it's basically not going to affect your tone too much. It's not going to make it more bright or dark. And with the gain all the way down, you're hopefully not going to get too much saturation. There's a little bit of grain that happens every once in a while, but I think that's just because I think this is an analog circuit, if I'm not mistaken. So that might just happen from circumstance. Let's turn the tone, let's mess with the tone a little bit and see where it sounds like. This is tone all the way up. Very interesting. So that was tone all the way bright, and it definitely changes how the low notes sound. It's doesn't have any. It's barely any bass. So let's turn it all the way dark and see what happens. Probably gonna get really dark. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. So, it's not really... The low notes are obviously popping through a lot more as tone does, but the interesting thing is that it's not overpowering the high notes. You can still get some of the high notes coming through, so that it is, you can actually have some definition in your playing. So let's turn the gain up and see what it sounds like. So tone is turned back to noon, and the gain is turned up just a bit. So, because this guitar is not as, because of the single coil pickups, it is not getting grainy whatsoever. Really, it's just a little bit on the high impact notes. So I'm assuming once we turn up the gain to noon, we're probably gonna get a little more overdrive. I am going to try a humbucker guitar as well after this one, just to see the comparison. Whoa. So we're definitely getting into overdrive tones now. So the interesting thing about this guitar pedal is that, you know, it's kind of an overdrive pedal. At least it's usually labeled as it, but it's kind of an overdrive distortion. Because when you turn that gain up, it gets pretty gainy, and it's, you know, almost stands as a distortion. So let's see that. So, as you can see, it gets pretty distorted. Like, it's like really distorted. So, with that, let's move on to the humbucker guitar. Okay, so here we are with a tuned humbucker guitar. Turn the gain back and see what it sounds like comparatively. The unfortunate thing is that since these are like new strings that I put on just yesterday, they are going to be much brighter than the duller strings on my single coil guitar. So this whole comparison is kind of useless, but take it as it is. It's more to demonstrate that the higher power leads to more gain at certain points, obviously. So there we go. So that's with, you know, a clean tone. Could probably turn a little bit of the bass back so that it sounds a little more the same. You could turn the tone backwards a little bit so that it sounds a little bit similar. Still not exactly perfect, but oh well. So let's turn the tone back to noon, and let's turn the gain up a bit. So, the change is not as dramatic as on my other guitar, because I have my other guitar that is the same exact style, but has some different pickups. It's a little bit better because this is my first guitar that I ever owned. It's a starter guitar. The other one's more of an intermediate guitar. And apparently the pickups are a lot better on that guitar because there is a dramatic difference. But the problem is that it's tuned to drop C, so it's not, a great comparison. Anyway, so there's like little to no gain. Let's turn the volume up a little bit. So once again, you can barely hear the gain coming through. It was very quiet when it happened. It's very in the background on this setting, much like the other one, but I could actually hear it this time. So let's turn it up to noon and see what it sounds like. So we're getting a lot of gain now. Well, not a lot, but it's like it's a little bit, over overdrive. It's a lot. This is hard for me to explain. It's more overdrive than what the single coil had. So finally, let's turn it up to full gain and see what it sounds like. So if you were using it as a distortion, you'd probably turn the tone a little bit up because that was sounding a little too dark and dull for me. But personally, I would use this as an overdrive more or less because if I want a distortion, I'll use a distortion pedal. So, I like the pedal as an overdrive. It's kind of neat as a distortion. It has a lot more gain than it ever needs. Unless you really want to drive into another pedal, which you can do with this pedal, even at lower gain. It works as a good driver for distortions, because the way that I use it is I use it as a boost with a little bit of grit, and then it's also a driver into my distortion because I always have my overdrive on. So I hope you found this somewhat informational. It's really hard to demonstrate overdrives because overdrives have many possible sounds, and it depends on what kind of overdrive you're looking for. This is what I'm pretty sure it's based off of a blues driver style. Wait. Damn it, I'm stupid. It's based off of a blues breaker style guitar pedal, which this is more of a full EQ boost rather than the Tube Screamer style, which is more of a mid-frequency boost. Like I said, the only way that you can really know for sure that that's gonna work for you is that you try it for yourself with similar gear. The best possible way is to bring your own guitar and amp, or to get it into your home. But found this informational, leave a like. If you want more gear reviews, I have some more on my channel, and I'm trying to do one every Wednesday. So please subscribe if you want more, and leave a comment on what I did wrong or did good. Thank you. Say bye-bye.